See, if we had a green room, no one would know. It'd all be fine. All right, Snacks, you good? Can I hit record?
Yeah.
You happy?
Yeah, go on ahead. I'm so excited to be here.
All right, let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to the PURRCAST. I'm stealing that name back. So we had Yoda on last week, so I'm stealing it back. I feel like it's allowed now. It's Wednesday. It's the 16th of February. Thank you very much to everyone joining us live, and if you're listening back on YouTube or Twitter, then thank you for doing that as well. Tonight, joined as always by Carlini, but we also have a very special guest. Our first legit guest, full guest, as you know, Henry is a little bit involved with Penelope's, but tonight we're joined by Snacks, who has been a big supporter of our project since the get-go, does some really cool stuff with Stoner Cats, and I believe has a new job, but we'll get into that. So Snacks, thank you very much for being here, man. Good to have you.
So good to be here. Thank you so much, Papa. And also, hi, how are you doing, Carlini?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah. It's for me, it's the big flow unlock day, so I'm having to send it out to everyone I promised to while just listening to this. Everyone's been too excited for exactly 1 year. Big day.
I can't believe that's been a year. Also, we do guests now. We have guests now, which is exciting. So yeah, we'll get into a few little bits and pieces. I googled best questions to ask podcast guests earlier, so I've got some great questions for you later on, Snacks. I wanted to start it off though with just like a little bit of background on yourself. How did you come across our project? What do you do in the space? What have you been up to recently? Like a little bit of bio on yourself.
Absolutely. So I'm Snacks, or you can call me Snack Vibes. That's what my name started as, and then Snacks just kind of caught on. So I actually made that name and invented that sort of identity for a Twitch stream where I would just play video games and make art and stuff on the stream. And I actually streamed like really a lot for like 6 months, like 5 times a week, and it got kind of boring for me. And the only thing keeping me going was doing like charity events, charity live streams. Otherwise, I wasn't really having that much fun on Twitch. And then I discovered cryptocurrency. So I was just researching Bitcoin, altcoins for months, and I saw things happening in the NFT space like CryptoPunks and hash masks and Bored Apes. I saw those things minting, and I never was interested because of all of the like the anonymous teams, and just seemed kind of like, a place where I never really was a part of like the shitcoin community until later on that year. So I wasn't interested into any projects that didn't have like doxed teams and founders. So I eventually found Stoner Cats in July after just keeping my eye on the NFT space, not really participating. I found Stoner Cats and I was like, I have to be a part of this project. I love the art. I love the people who are involved. So I got involved. And then shortly thereafter, I talked to Huda because Huda, he was a part of a Dogecoin community that I was a part of, was with Boss 1320. So me and Huda ended up in a similar Discord channel, and there was one channel for NFTs, and Huda was always in there. He's like telling everybody to buy Cyberkongs, Punk's Comics, and Penelope's Country Club. He's like, buy these NFTs. They're gonna go crazy. The NFT space is gonna be amazing. And I was like, you know what? Okay. So I looked at Penelope's Country Club roadmap, and I saw everything that you guys had laid out, from paying people to use the profile pictures, to putting all the money in the community vault, to using that money as well to make a liquidity pool on NFTX and NFT20. Those are things I had never seen before, even in the likes of an altcoin project, as far as transparency and giving back to the community goes. I found that to be incredible. So Penelope's became my second love, my second NFT addiction after Stoner Cats, and I just got all of my favorite Purrs, and I'm along for the ride, and I love it. But another background to me is, yeah, I've done a lot of research in the cryptocurrency altcoin space. So I've got a lot of experience like looking at tokenomics and stuff like that. And that's one thing I've found, like a lot of people don't have that experience. A lot of people have jumped straight into NFTs as their first cryptocurrencies, basically. And I find that, and like what you referred to, Papa, my new job is at CryptoSlam, and that is a NFT data aggregation website. So it takes NFT data from all different blockchains, all different marketplaces, all kinds of collections, and then it presents that data to you in a way that's accessible. And I find that I can give value to the space by helping educate people on a lot of those altcoin fundamentals that can still be applied to NFT projects as well. And then besides that, I also started the podcast for Stoner Cats in September. I started it late September, just first episode. Got super nervous because I was like, oh my gosh, famous people are going to hear my voice. So I got really nervous. But when I go back and listen to episode 1, I still think I did a great job for my first podcast ever. And since then, we have recorded 21 episodes, and we have had a bunch of incredible people from the industry of film, animation, and NFTs on the podcast. So it's been super successful and a ton of fun. Any other
That's
questions
awesome,
regarding my background?
No, it was very concise, mate. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think hearing you on the Stoner Cats podcast, like you said, going from first episode and being super nervous to like even the spaces. I think I joined you on earlier today, your Crypto Slam one, which is kind of like you're just so like assured with it now, which is really really cool to kind of see. I guess it's the same with anything. The more you do stuff, the better you feel you are at it. And like, I definitely feel like that in this space. Like learning how to use OBS and actually hosting a spaces like is still a little bit weird. It's still like, oh my god, it's Wednesday. I've got to do this. I've got to talk to people. But yeah, it's cool. Like how we got started in this and where we end up is really fun. Stoner Cats, obviously, we've got some Stoner Cats in the Kitty Vault, which we added. Carlini, I think they were just added kind of randomly. I don't think they were voted on or anything. That was just when we were just accumulating, I believe.
Yeah, it was the ETH that I was spending.
Yes.
So I'd picked to pick some up. It just felt like a fairly safe play, I guess.
Yeah.
Because obviously we can't sell what's in the Kitty Vault.
Once it's in, it's in.
Like it's not to day trade, so you pretty much have to go for what you think is long term.
I think from the team that was behind it, from the project, from obviously the cartoon as well. Yeah, that feels very much like a longer term play and a long term project. Snacks, you said that was kind of like the first NFT that really appealed to you and was like, yes, this is me, this is my speed. What was like the main driving thing with that? Was it the stoner part or was it the cat part?
It was definitely, but those two things were major factors. Yeah, I love cats. I love the art itself is like hand drawn by Ash Brannon, and he's been in the movie industry for over 20 years. He actually did some animation on A Little Mermaid at Disney when they were animating that at the time. He did like a little cool. So he has a ton of experience with hand drawn animation, and they brought on another animation studio to help with the production. The composer for the music he's been a composer in film for over 20 years. Mila Kunis's production company, Orchard Farms, they just founded another company called Sixth Wall, which is a Web3 production studio, which is coming out with a card game, a video game, all kinds of stuff. Oh, wow. And you would have just like looked beneath the surface of like the information that's out there with Stoner Cats, and you actually get in the community and talk to the people who are a part of the Stoner Cats team and Big Head Club. If you actually talk to those people, you can learn some incredible alpha or crazy things that just the most people don't know this, especially in the NFT community. They don't know how much is behind Stoner Cats. It's kind of just it's hard to see on the surface, but I think in a way that's kind of a good thing, because animation is so challenging and voice acting and writing is so challenging. So I don't want to put the creators under a ton of pressure and have like everybody pumping the floor and asking when's the next episode. So I think that they're kind of taking a tactical approach and a really long-term approach with in terms of the marketing for Stoner Cats, and I think that's a great thing. And I think the Stoner Cats podcast provided some good value in the direction of Stoner Cats, and the community could get behind that and feel proud of it, because before the Stoner Cats podcast, there was a lot of negativity in the Discord, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I needed a positive space. I needed a fun place to go for the Stoner Cats community. So that's how the podcast happened. But yeah, what most interested me about Stoner Cats was like the storytelling and just the writing aspect, and getting to see what it's like for these incredible producers to basically make their own path in storytelling without the agenda of a corporate production studio that has stockholders that have certain parameters for the shows that they need to have. Like, they would go to a production studio and the studio would say, "Oh, we already have a show with talking animals. Oh, we don't like shows that, deal with drugs or marijuana." So they had a lot of challenges finding funding for the show, and then eventually they were like, "Oh, we can just fund it with NFTs," and that's how it came about. It wasn't NFTs for NFTs sake, or anything like that. It was like, we need to get funding for this show, and the NFT community can get behind us.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I like the way you said that, with the slow, methodical building. I kind of feel that we're in a. I mean, I'm not Mila Kunis, obviously, but I feel like we're in a similar sort of position where it's like we're trying to do things and build a base layer, and then have foundations that you can then build on top of, and keep doing the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So yeah, I really appreciate you jumping in and kind of bringing that positivity of like, hey, I'm just going to chat of like all the good stuff that's going on, and let these creative people do the other stuff in the background. I think that's really cool, man. Yeah, and then obviously, like you said, you went from Stoner Cats, found them, and then found us through Huda. So shout out to you, brother. Always repping us, which is good fun. Yeah, and then you said about the roadmap of those things. I think most of which we've now hit on. There's probably 2 things left on the roadmap, 3 things left maybe. Yeah, I mean, what is it? I've got a question that I'm kind of like dancing around. This is from everybody's favorite Penelope Shill, the Shill. So 3 reasons that you bought into Purrs, or like 3 reasons that you're kind of like holding Purrs. Like, where do you see us going in the future? What are you excited for? That sort of stuff.
So if not, like, the main reason is definitely like, I felt like I could get in Penelope's Country Club because I had met Huda, who he was already really passionate for the project, so I felt comfortable with that. And so that would be the main reason. And then the second 2 reasons would be the community and the art. I found the community in Penelope's Country Club was full of a bunch of people who are really interested in this large community vault, and all want to have a stake in NFTs, and also have these amazing cats, and create this community of like-minded individuals who support each other. And I could see that cultivating in the Discord. So I felt like that was one reason why I continued to, have my Purrs and trade them for more rare Purrs, or Purrs that I liked the look of more in the liquidity pools. Like, I just always felt convicted more and more as weeks went on, with the airdrops you guys have and just the announcements you guys drop. Like, it always felt like things were improving, and the community's always growing. So that was one reason, the one reason, the community, and then the art. I thought that the art for Penelope's Country Club is super original. It's not something that was being done in NFTs at the time. It's got clean, thin lines, unlike a lot of our competitors in the cat realm, where you have like cool cats with thick lines. But in general, the art to me is absolutely fantastic. I love the different fur colors and the different breeds of cats, the outlines of the fur and everything like that. I think it's super duper creative, and definitely just knew I had to collect all my favorite looking purrs. So that is, if you look at my account on OpenSea, you can see all of my amazing purrs, the ones that I've traded into and some that I actually minted as well.
I love your little Crypto Slam glasses that you've got on your profile picture at the moment as well. That's super cool. That's
Thanks.
awesome, man.
I love making derivatives of purrs. So I'll while we're talking, I'm gonna post some of my derivatives for purrs up on the pinned tweets so that you guys can see the art I've made with these cats. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. That's really cool. Yeah, some really good ones in there. Yeah, you've been doing that for ages. It's super fun. I remember you DMing me the other day of like, oh, here's some ones I've been looking at in the pool. I think I'm going to make a move. You were like twinning them up like Bonnie and Clyde ones or something. It was like these two cats that like go really well together. And then like I think you sent me that, and someone scooped it from the pool like 10 minutes later, and I was like, oh no. Yeah, that was really cool. Awesome, man. So let's round out a couple of other questions for yourself, and then Carlini, I will throw to you with some questions about the project in general that have come up this week. So I've got 3. This is from my questions you should ask podcast guests Google search. So some in-depth research I've been doing. So number 1, if you had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Peanut butter, honey, sriracha, banana.
I was not. That's a lot. I wasn't expecting that at all. All together?
Oh yeah, just all in one sandwich.
So
So
hold
not a
on.
lot of people would
In a
probably enjoy
sandwich?
that. Yeah, but I really like sriracha and peanut butter on like everything. Oddly enough, so yeah, so a good peanut butter honey banana sandwich with some sriracha in there, like that. I feel like that could be my last and forever meal.
So peanut butter. I'm gonna try this. Peanut butter, honey, banana, sriracha, sandwich. What
Yeah,
bread
and
what bread we talking?
um, well, I don't know if you have this across the pond, but it's called Dave's Killer Bread.
No. I feel like I've heard of it, maybe.
Dave's Killer Bread they have a bunch of different kinds of their bread, but the one that I like is a 12 grain with a bunch of seeds. So it's like one of those super kind of healthy breads.
So super healthy bread, and then peanut butter, honey, banana, sriracha. I'm actually going to throw this question to you as well, Carlini, because is it the same sandwich, or is it something different?
I mean, it's always Sunday roast.
Sunday roast, of course it is.
If anyone doesn't say Sunday roast, they're wrong.
I feel like I knew this.
It's the only correct answer to the question.
Snacks, you're getting some grief.
I honestly
in
like
the lobby bar in the server.
I know, yeah. I knew I would. I honestly could probably come up with a better answer, but that's just what sounds
No,
the
that's
best.
conviction, my friend. That's conviction. To know you're going to get shot down and say it anyway. I respect that. I respect it more. I'm going to try this sandwich. I promise you. I have all these things. The only thing I don't have in my cupboards right now is I don't have any bananas. So all I need to do tomorrow is get myself a banana, and then we're good to go. Because you got to have sriracha on deck. You've always got to have sriracha on deck.
I love sriracha, dude. It's incredible. You know what? I did a weird thing though. I mixed peanut butter in my coffee, and it was actually pretty good.
To be fair, my favorite sandwich is cheese and strawberry jam. So I kind of feel you. We're on the same level.
Dude, that's actually not a bad idea. Yeah.
Dude, it's good. It's good. Fantastic. Question number 2. What do you think this space, so like this whole, NFTs in general, what do you think this space will look like next year? In the Google in the Googling that I did, it said, where do you see yourself in 5 years or something? And I was like, well, let's NFT it up. So what do you think the space will look like this time next year? 16th of Feb 2023? Yeah.
I think we will have a BAYC Super Bowl at this time next year. But besides that, I think it's going to entirely depend on regulations enforced on the crypto market, in the US. So I'm waiting to see what happens in the lawsuits against XRP and Uniswap, and that will set the precedent for identifying a security with crypto fundamentals. So that's sort of what we're looking at to, in my opinion, see what the space is gonna look like in a year. Even though when they set precedents based on those lawsuits, oftentimes it takes up to 2 to 4 years to actually enforce those laws. So we're looking at a lot of nuance in the situation. But if we weren't having to deal with really, really stark crypto regulation in the US, I would say that the space is going to see probably a double or triple in the number of active users. I think by the end of the year and all the way through mid-February next year, I think we're going to at least see triple the amount of people in the space participating actively in trading NFTs and collecting NFTs and minting NFTs. I think we're going to see a bunch of chains open up, like really, really user-friendly marketplaces. Like we have a lot of stuff coming out this year, from Polkadot to, you could name a dozen blockchains that are coming out with full capability of NFTs this year. So I think we're going to see a ton of little spaces that are all kind of intercompatible, through blockchains. Like, because right now we do have pretty dominant Ethereum market in terms of volume. But I think we're going to see that spread out. And Ethereum, I don't even think Ethereum will be on top. I definitely don't. Because at the end of the day, on the layer 2, you can still use the same assets that are on the mainnet just by bridging and wrapping them. But you can make those transactions without any fees and stuff. So I think we're going to see a lot more volume on layer 2s and stuff like that than Ethereum. That's my prediction, but I could be wrong.
I think, yeah, like you could be proven right in about 10 minutes time. You could be proven wrong in 10 minutes time or whatever. Yeah, everything moves so quickly. I think people getting added into the space, like more adoption, probably means more diversification of everything that's going on. But yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? Carlini, do you want to add anything to that? I know. Yeah. Where do you think the space will be, or what it'll look like next year?
I don't know, because if you go back a year, I guess now does make sense from looking forward a year. In fact, we might even be forward less, because last February we were exploding. The growth then proportionally was bigger than it is now, but obviously that's because we were a much smaller space. So getting a few thousand people in was a much bigger deal back then. And I guess when you think ahead, I think our biggest leaps have happened. I think February 2020 to 2021 is a bigger jump than 2021 to 2022. And I think that will be a bigger jump than 2022 to 2023. So I think a year from now, we will obviously be further, more mainstream, but sort of the big leaps forward will just get smaller and smaller as we go forward. So obviously we do have all this regulation, sort of lawmakers looking at us, and all these, terrible scam projects are coming out now that people know that they can just just throw something up, and then mint out, leave behind maybe 2 hired people, and walk away with your cash. So that will slow us down because people didn't bother before. They bothered a bit, 2018, 2019, 2020, there were quite a few projects, maybe as many as in a month as we see in a day now. And their take would, people would be doing pretty much the same thing, but with more innovation for 20, 30K. Because ETH was so much lower, the community was so much smaller, you just wouldn't get anywhere near millions. Like, no one. Maybe, the big boys, maybe just thinking back, Space Game, CSC, F1 Delta, maybe. Generally, the sort of one, who was it? Yes, Breakfast Club or Cereal Club or whatever.
Cereal Club, yeah.
No one would have got close to that level of hype. BT teaming up with 888, who has done a drop and then has done an 8 times drop and has only delivered literally 3 airdrops. Two of them people had to claim, and they're all under $100. And I'm not in the community, but everyone I speak to that hold to them wants out and doesn't think they've been delivered value at all. And then suddenly there's this proposed 11 Ethereum Dutch auction down to 8.88. Obviously, people are like, hey, what's going on here? Because so BT, I know of BT because he sold quite an expensive piece to Pranksy, and it was a piece of work that changes throughout the day, so it's effectively on a 24-hour loop. And Pranksy bought that, and I've looked at it at certain times throughout the day, and you just see how it's different and what's going on. And I remember him saying something like, "Oh, I can't wait to look at it in the evening, to see what's going on in this art piece I own." So I sort of seen BT in the space, but then to team up with Gala, who famously blamed Ethereum for their terrible contract.
Oh, that was them.
Yeah,
I knew I'd seen the name before. I couldn't remember what it was.
And then they have their legal representative doing customer service, calling customers wage cucks or something like that. I can't remember exactly. It was that guy. I remember I posted something about. I posted in our Discord like, look, Gala, you clearly don't know this space. I am happy to help. DM me or something like that. And then I guess that was taken as a troll instead of a sincere effort to help. Because I enjoyed Townstar. I tweeted about it a few times, and I had a few hundred Ethereum in Vox, and then just completely soured my experience because I wanted to help because I liked the game. And then when their customer service was awful and they blamed Ethereum for their bad contracts, and then said it would be fixed when they had their own chain. So they can't write a contract, but they're going to write a chain. So, like, BT has teamed up with someone who everyone I'm talking to is saying cannot deliver value at all. Had a fight with Pranks because 888 tweeted something like, these should be 10 Ethereum. The only reason I'm not buying them up to 10 Ethereum is so that I can change more people's lives. And Pranks replied something like, look, you can't tweet that. That makes this a security. I suggest you delete it. And he just flipped out. He was like, oh, you're supposed to be nice. We're supposed to be friends. Oh, keep in mind, AA Crypto acts like a whale, but apparently behind the scenes begs other whales for Ethereum. I haven't seen that because, I'm not in these whale chats, but apparently that's how they get funded. To then pretty much create a security and then be like, hey, delete this tweet because you created a security. And then they flip out. And then also the dev team blamed Ethereum and they're making their own chain and didn't do this contract right. just got to feel bad for the artist in that situation. But it just shows that we're wising up a little bit.
It's baby steps at the moment, it feels like.
So as we leave sort of this free mint money time, people will wise up, and I think we'll slow down a bit, and the big players will start to. I mean, obviously, big players have emerged. Like if you ask people, what's your favorite blue chip? There's kind of none, but everyone will give you a list of blue chips.
Everyone knows what that means in NFTs now, right?
Yeah, so it's obviously different in NFTs, because if you said, if you comes from stocks, if you try to compare blue chip stocks, like just nothing is old enough. Like I'm sure plenty of people will say Azuki, and that's a few weeks old. Which in NFTs, it almost makes sense because you can see where they're going and you want to buy in, but when you're comparing it to what I guess I call the real world, is just madness. And hopefully we don't get a dose of reality where some of these so-called blue chips have a bit of a reckoning, I guess, because
no reality for us, please. We're NFTers.
Well, we're trying. We're NFTers. We're trying to build. We're trying to do it right. We're technically free companies at this point. Getting a new member of staff who you know quite well. So yeah, I think the changes over the next 12 months will be less, and I think it will be a move slowly towards more of an NFT meets business. I think we've had a lot of fun the past 12 months, and I guess that's what it is. And it was fun before that as well. It just wasn't in any way financially rewarding before that. And obviously, money makes things more fun. But I think now you really do. You do need to. We are going to see NFTs meet business more and more and more. And it's a bit mad to see when you look back. Like, oh no, the next word, everyone drink. CryptoKitties. It's still CryptoKitties still at its launch date in 2017 still has at that point, when compared to now, pretty much the best website and the biggest team. And then they went on to do Cheese Wizards, which most people don't really know about, because it was a bit like Chainface Arena. But then when you go and look at that website, you're like, oh my, this was such a high-end production, geez. And then obviously that went on to Top Shot, and then UFC and Hand Egg, all these different sports.
All day.
But I kind of hope we see less of these sort of, I don't want to say indie projects, because I mean everything is basically an indie project at this point, bar a handful. But we will be seeing more businessy, less indie, and hopefully the good thing coming out of less indie, because I guess when you relate it to games, you have great things like Stardew Valley come out of indie, and it just feels better, and people like to support it more. But it will make it harder to scam. I think. I think when you need to be properly set up as the norm, it'll be harder to just be like, oh, let's just get this artist, let's screw them over, let's get our bag and let's leave. So I do think we'll go more real worldy, maybe a little less fun. Maybe fun isn't the right word. Maybe a little less madness, because.
But if that leads to a space that's then more secure and more established and less scammy, I think 90% of the people you would speak to in the space right now would want it to be less scammy. But
10% scammers.
10% of the scammers. So yeah, I think that would be a really positive thing. I mean, judging on the last 2 years from when I've been involved, seeing everything just go absolutely loco, then yeah, I have no idea. I mean, you feel as bigger businesses get in. I also wonder, this is the other thing I was thinking of, just as you were saying that. Do you remember like how YouTube used to be, of where like loads of channels, there'd be like a mega channel that would like buy up or like collaborate with like loads of little channels? I can't remember the names of any of them off the top of my head, but it was like, it basically be like a publishing house of like a few like YouTube channels. I wonder if we'd get to a point with that where it's like a few different projects would then kind of all collaborate. I guess we've
I
already seen
wonder
it
if
with.
that's where Rug Radio will end up going,
Mm.
because they're a media project, and it seems the goal is to have 24/7, 365 coverage, and you're going to need, like, eventually you're going to have every project on, right? There's going to be a lot of collabs to do all of that.
Mm.
So I wonder if there will be that. And also, I had been thinking along those lines, like, how can you buy out or acquire a project and make that a net benefit?
Mm.
Like, there was all this Pudgy Penguin stuff, and that's a new leadership. But how could one project buy out or absorb another one and succeed? Because every project out there has a few sort of diehard fans, at least, regardless of who or what you are.
Mm.
But then if you're gaining so many new NFTs, I wonder if I don't know how you
You would
onboard
just have to
them.
get ownership of the contract, and then you just get the secondary sales stuff, and then you just kind of plow on from there. So everything still exists.
But what do you do? Rug the whole thing?
Repurpose it, I guess.
Like, if we bought Pudgy Penguins, what would we do with all the penguins, all the babies, and all the fishing rods?
Oh, I got plans for those fishing rods. You better believe it. Yeah, I guess so.
Put them in eggs.
Put them back in the eggs, and
Like,
then
play a mini game. You put them back in.
It's fascinating, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for the next year. I don't know why today is the day that I asked the year question, but hey, we can revisit. We can sound clip this Spaces, the three of us, next year and see who was the closest.
What have you said?
What did I say? I didn't say anything. I just said I'm just along for the ride. I don't answer
You
questions
can't
on
be the
this show.
closest. Is that what we're agreeing right now?
Everything will be great and all the scammers will be gone.
Oh, well, you're fucked. If anything, scam go up.
There
Scam
will
number
only
will
be
go
cat
up.
NFTs. Cat NFTs are going to rule the whole thing. Yeah, hopefully. Snacks, I have a Stoner Cat question.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up?
I also like that you bring back the Bored Ape Super Bowl for next season. We were just 1 year off. That was all that happened. So there's been 2 episodes so far. Is that right? Am I right? I'm up to date.
You are correct.
Perfect.
Yes. The second episode featured Gary V's character Hash Panda as well.
It did. You dropped some alpha on that, I think, when we were in our server the other day, and I don't know whether that was a while ago. Is that happened? Is that happening still?
Yeah, man. Yeah, Gary V is Hash Panda, and he's a full-on character in the show. It's amazing.
I love it. Who is your favorite character in the show? That's what I wanted to know. That was my question.
So it's been really a roller coaster making the decision of who's my favorite stoner cat. And I can't say that I have a definitive answer, but right now it's Fifi. I love Fifi. She's she's the caretaker of the group. She's checking on everybody and always making sure that Mrs. Stoner is good. So I just really like Fifi as well. I love her personality, and Mila Kunis is a extremely talented voice actor, in all honesty. So, just the performance is stellar. So that's right now.
She's been doing that for years, right?
Yeah, she has, dude. She's been in Family Guy for all those seasons, and I don't know what other voice acting she's been doing, but she's really damn good. So it's awesome just to have that as part of Stoner Cats. She's awesome. So I like Fifi at this moment. Yeah.
But hey, that's the good thing. It's like you'll get a new favorite as you go along. But I like that. I like the little character. I'm just looking at the artwork now. I'm just on OpenSea, just looking at them, and it's just it's really cool. I like the grandma character as well, Mrs. Stoner.
Yeah, her name
Right?
is Beatrice Stoner, and she is a retired Broadway actress. And you can discover little things about her past when you look through the show. It's really fun.
I love it. I love it. Super cool. That was my Stoner Cats questions. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to know. I'm sure you've been asked that before, but So let's get into Snacks. If you want to chime in with anything as we go through, I know we've asked for a couple of other Stoner Cats questions in the server, so hopefully we'll get a couple. I'll throw back to a couple of Penelope's questions as we go through. First one I think is on the Vault, which should hopefully just be some clarification. So this is from theboss.pcc.eth. I think this was in response to one of your Kitty Vault tweets earlier in the couple of days ago, Carlini, saying, am I right in thinking that holders of certain assets will be allocated fractions of the vault via the token? Now, close, but we're a bit off. I think this probably stems from the confusion of we haven't officially named our token yet, which probably doesn't help. So I think what this is the Kitty Vault is always in and nothing comes out. So there will always be something you can't take anything out of there. The fractional side of things, once we actually fractionalize it, is you'll be able to essentially trade in your airdrop or your cat or your kitten or your third airdrop. Second companion. You'll be able to trade that in for a fraction of the value of the Kitty Vault. So you'll get a token, coin, or something like that, and then that will be able to be traded with other people who want to accumulate more. We're saying fractions. I want to say shares. We'll get more fractions of the vault. So just over the last few days, I've actually noticed on our OpenSea collection of the airdrops that there's been a bit of an accumulation of a few different airdrops. I don't know whether that's in response to some of the physicals that you can trade those in for, or whether that's in response to trying to get more fractions of the vault. But it will not be linked to our yielding token, which your cats and kittens and second companion will yield. That will not be linked to that. So they're two separate things. Boss, this will be much clearer once the Kitty Vault coin and our token are named properly and officially, and the functionality is there. But essentially, inside of your cat and inside of all your airdrops, including the kittens and the other companion, is a fraction of the vault. But in order to access that, you need to trade in that airdrop or cat, which means technically Purrs are deflationary, and we could end up with less than 10,000.
Yeah, we do technically have PCC Kitty Limited and PCC Token Limited.
Ooh.
Are the official legal names for the yet to be named tokens.
Kitty Limited is very close to Kitty Litter.
Can't talk.
I have a question about the token in the future of that. Can I ask now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's go.
So, are you guys coming up with incentives and reasons for people who are not Penelope's Country Club holders to actually use this token for something?
Yes. So the goal is our primary target, that sounds bad. Our primary audience will be our community. So the way we have to focus the business is that you have your PCCs or your kittens or your companion twos, and they yield the token, and then we have to convince you to use your token in our ecosystem. Now that's how we have to do things legally currently. Of course, that can change. There's, as we were just talking about, lots of eyes on NFTs right now, on DeFi, and how this is all going to adapt. So at this point, we can only look at it from that frame of reference. So we will be trying to have sinks for token that people that don't hold PCCs and kittens and the other companion would want to use this token. But where it gets iffy is we can't really advertise it to people. We cannot, at least yet, push people into using token that they don't yield, because how do they get it? How can they get that token? We all know they will get that token from Uniswap or SushiSwap, which we will not pool in. But this is a decentralized world. People can do whatever they want with their token, whatever they want with their Ethereum. So people are going to pool, and I can't stop them. There's nothing I can do to stop that. But we cannot promote it. We cannot push for it. And we cannot tell people to go and buy the token.
That's really interesting. Wow.
And I was very surprised to read the other day the Cool Cats have found a way around that. And I know they're based in the US. At least the company is in the US. I know Tom's in the UK. But there's just, that's just how it is at this point. That is our legal advice. And that is what we'll have to follow through with. But generally, people who will buy a token to then do something cool, which we can promote the something cool, and we will know how to buy and where to buy, etc. But we can't push it.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. I just think tokens are a good opportunity for people to get into the NFT community without having to buy a whole NFT as a part of the collection. Like, I have a lot of friends who are really interested in Stoner Cats and NFTs, but they just think it's all too expensive to participate in, with gas fees and everything like that. So just if you guys come up with like creative ideas for how people can get tokens for just like really affordable amounts, then that would be something that I think could just be really positive. And I love the idea of thinking in that direction.
It's hard because you can make lots of things that are, novel uses of token. But the issue is, at the end of the day, people will spend on token if they think number go up. They will use their token if they think number go up, or to a point if they're a fan. Like, if you yield 10 token a day, and at 100 tokens you can order a hoodie. That's completely made up. That's not what we're doing, but this is just an example. If that is how you work, then in this space, instead of people going, oh cool, 10 days of holding this NFT and I get a hoodie for free, they go, oh, the hoodie costs 100 token, but my token's $5. That's a $500 hoodie. Oh my god. So it's really hard to battle some of the perceived sort of views within this space, just with it being so money centric. And that's why I think games are much harder than people think. Using token in a game is easy. Like, it's the easiest long term token sink, in my opinion, purely because a token sink is incredibly hard to plan out, like a long-term token sink that isn't just mint this NFT, mint this NFT, mint this NFT, because then you've got loads of NFTs. But a game with the very fabric of it is around money and earning money. When you're a play to earn game, it is incredibly hard to actually work because in come the bots, RuneScape has a big problem with Venezuelans who basically play the game for a job, would destroy certain economies and break the real life trading rules. And when that is incentivized at the game's very core, it's so tricky. Just thinking, how would this game not get wrecked by bots? Bots which are hard to detect. It's so hard. And how do you then make it fun without money? Because your friends who will buy a few tokens, they're most likely to want to buy in so that their token goes up in value. How can we make them enjoy that small amount of token in a different way? It's just a very hard thing to think about all the time.
That's really interesting on play to earn. I mean, like, I play games a lot, but I don't play any. I haven't played any NFT like play to earn sort of stuff. I've always enjoyed video games as like more of a solo experience, as kind of like I'm just going to switch off and not look at my phone or anything else, or I'm gonna not look at Discord for a couple hours, maybe. Good lord. So like
Solo experience, tightly a sex tape.
So I've always enjoyed stuff where it's like I want this to be just some good old fashioned pepper time, which is not helping title of my sex tape stuff. So it's, if you could somehow build token into that, like, I don't know, it's Pokemon, but the Poker Center is in America, so they charge you money. Like, you can't just walk in and get all your Pokemon healed. So that's when you have to spend token to let you continue enjoying the game, rather than I want to get as much token as I can so I can sell it for cold hard cash or cold hard ETH. Just interesting.
I've always thought a sort of Clash of Clans model where instead of buying gems from the App Store, it would be their token. And like, people who want to pay to win can buy the token. People can slowly earn the token, but you've never really got many gems if you just played normally. Like, you'd only get a real amount if you bought. And just some sort of, effectively, what that is doing is taking a model that works. Clash of Clans works. People live on that because people are buying these packs. The company hires people. That works. They make a profit. Now, if that profit was shared with the community, then maybe that's where it makes a change. The game can run on less profit, and that is rolled back into the game. Maybe it completely changes the culture when people can profit. Not sure. We'll find out, really, just as time goes on.
Yeah. Hey, it's another thing to put in your next year of NFTs. Yeah, that's really interesting. I've literally just written on my notebook, Clash of Purrs.
Can I ask a quick question? I don't know if we're going to be wrapping up here because it's been an hour, but I have a question for both of you that I want to hear from both of you about. What inspires you to build?
Ooh. I feel like I've been unhosted, and now I'm getting interviewed. I'm gonna be very cheesy because I'm quite a cheesy person anyway, as Carlini knows, and it's also my job. But the community inspires me to try and get better, to try and make this better, to try and bring kind of like, I don't know, like new experiences. And we're getting real cheesy now, but like it's the people like yourself, Snacks, who started off like in the Discord. It's the people that are chatting in the Discord right now. Ed, Shill, Backyard Dickerite 69.pcc.eth, MComs, loads of other people that I'm forgetting, but Hank, all these people that I chat to every day now. That's who inspires me to build.
Wow.
I love that. Yeah, it's awesome. Carlini?
Well, step one, NFTs themselves. Obviously, you can just look at my wallet. It's the same one from my first NFT purchase. All of my transactions, there must be, I don't even know, must be close to 16,000. Oh no, 16,613 transactions in there. My first NFT purchase was 1,535 days ago, and I've been hooked on NFTs since, just because they make so much sense to me. I've always been an online person. I was playing Age of Empires 2. I don't know when it came out. I must have been 8, and I was waking up at 6 a.m. so that I could play before school. Playing when I got home. That progresses into RuneScape. That's effectively just an economy game, and that then progressed on to Halo, and sort of the skin world of how all of those games had NFT aspects. And funnily enough, Age of Empires 2 almost went down that line with Age of Empires Online, where you would build up your character and get items that would then make the levels easier, and they would carry through from level 1 to level, however many you do. And that was almost an NFT itself. Obviously, you didn't actually own it, so it's in no way an NFT. But all three of those games, sort of the main games of my life, I guess, all sort of have an improvement from NFTs at the core of them. So NFTs clicked and made sense, and I want to be in this space. I have obviously been in this space 4.5 years, and then I caught the bug with building NFT boxes, and I wanted to keep that going. So number one is what drives me is NFTs. I kind of hate seeing all the negative media attention around something that I've loved for so long, and it does make you chuckle when you see everything that is bad in the media and why people hate them, and you just think you're doing that because you don't know. You don't actually know what's going on here. What you hate is actually solved by NFTs often. There's just a lack of trust between teams, because let's go with gamers, for example. They've just been screwed over by companies for, when did it start happening? To some degree it's been always, but maybe it started getting worse about 15 years ago, and then just started getting progressively worse. And then we started having pre-orders, and then we started having buying into alpha games. Like we're not even paying for complete games anymore, and people were just sort of getting completely disillusioned with trusting these people. Whereas NFTs have a way to keep these companies to account. Obviously, it's not a perfect solution, but it is better. Like, just think of all of these things that we've called out in the NFT space because we could see it on chain, because they trusted for one, and then they took advantage at two, and we saw that. So it also makes you wonder, like, what else is happening in the world that I don't know about, and then I look in the media. How wrong how wrong could that be? How we be misled there? So firstly, it's NFTs themselves. Secondly, it's the team. I don't want to screw over these guys. You know, it's their living. It's what they get up in the morning to do. I want to make sure that they're well looked after, and then it's those that believe in us. I want to make sure that people don't get wrecked on something that I've built. And I'm putting in a lot of effort, and I would hate to put in a lot of effort to screw people over. Like, it just drives us to push every day to make sure that we're doing it right, that we're not going to, people they're putting in a lot of money to buy Purrs, even if we are on the lower end of NFT prices, and we are quite nicely stable in price. So we have been at this level for quite a while, and it's just happily sitting there. Obviously, it would be great for the price to go up for our community. Just you just see the hype in the other communities it brings, and we've got such a solid base of people that have stuck with us, and I don't know, actually believe in the innovation. I guess the like we brought ENS, and I'll just quick scroll down. I see so many .pcc.eths, which will be the norm for other brands and other projects. Obviously, that took a bit of a delay with the whole Brantley thinking part of the community is evil. I think that may take a hit to the timeline on how long ENS subdomains take to become sort of household names, I guess, or just the norm. But I'm still sure we'll get there. And the thing is, you only really get mega price go up if you just say what you're going to do, and never really. You always have something that you're going to do. It's always going to do. Whereas we just released ENS subdomains. We told people maybe the day before, and then the next day there it was. Whereas we could have, built it up and still not released it, and just kept the hype going, and price would have probably gone up, because when you actually deliver at the moment, this is another thing I think will change in the next year. I think we have lots of, so what have you actually done? Why do you think you can sell this? I think we saw this today with the orb drop. 11 ETH. Why is this worth 11 ETH? Gala have often messed up the contracts that you've then gone and got them to do. 8888 hasn't delivered to members of the circle, yet you're asking for an 11 ETH to 8 ETH drop. No, thank you. So there is a shift there. It's not all hype based and just all fluff at this point. Lots of fluff will still get through. Lots of nonsense will still be bought and hyped. But I think projects are going to have to deliver more and more over the next year than they do have to now, which will be good for us, because that's what we do. We didn't hype up ENS, we just delivered it. We didn't hype up the 8 airdrops, we just started them. It wasn't on our roadmap, but we just started it. The Kitty Vault was not on the roadmap either, yet now our Kitty Vault is over 900 Ethereum. So I don't want to just hype in a way that it doesn't really make sense, and all it does is it makes the number go up for a bit, and then number goes down because there's nothing actually backing it. So we're just trying to be careful, because when you hype it and number goes up, people buy at that level. And I guess another thing that motivates me is making sure that anyone who buys doesn't long term get wrecked. So we need to make sure that we are growing properly. And as I said, we hired someone else recently. I don't know if you want to talk about that, Peter.
We'll wait till she signs a contract first.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'm excited about that, as that'll probably become clear down the line. But yeah, someone who knows strategy and business a little bit better than probably what we've got at the moment can hopefully kind of push us forward in new and exciting ways, and kind of maximize on what we've built so far. And I think it'll be very interesting to see the next year if there will be a little bit of a reckoning for projects without substance, or projects that overpromise and underdeliver, which I like to think that we are not. I know there's been some delays with some of the stuff, but we know that it's coming, and we can't wait to get it in people's hands and see people tweeting about it and see people wearing it at conferences and meetups and golf weekends and whatever other crazy stuff we can come up with. It's really exciting. So I think that goes back to what I said of like community motivates me, and delivering it. And I guess, Carlini, you're basically saying the same thing, but through the conduit of, you want to big us up and support us, and through that supports the community. So
I community third.
Good question, Snacks. You should run a podcast or something, mate.
Yeah. God damn, you're right. Yes. Guys, everybody, there's a daily NFT talk show that I'm doing on Twitter Spaces on my Twitter with Huda. And this Thursday, I have another podcast episode with Brendan McNerney, who is Mila Kunis's business partner at Orchard Farm Productions. And this weekend is going to be a Stoner Cats podcast extravaganza, because I'm like really behind on uploading podcast episodes. So I should be uploading like 3 this weekend, or at least 2. So look forward to that. And please just follow my Twitter and come join the Crypto Slam Discord. I'm trying to grow the community over there. Would love to see more Purrs over there. Already have had some join. But it's gonna be a fun time, and there's gonna be a lot of reasons to hang out. I'm gonna be hosting events inside the Discord and making it a fun time. But I'll make sure the Purr community knows everything that I'm doing and can keep up to date with all of my stuff. So thank you so much for having me on the podcast, Papa and Carlini. This is a great, amazing full circle moment, because it's been over half a year now since being in NFTs for myself and for Penelope's Country Club as well. So it's really good to circle back and touch base and talk to you guys, because there's so much growing that all of us have been doing, so much building. So
nearly really bang on 6 months. That's loco.
I know.
16th of Feb. We were 17th of July.
Oh wow! No, wait. I thought. Okay,
wait, is that 6 months? Where are we? What day is it?
Okay.
Snacks,
I thought the
man.
6th month was January.
Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, gosh, we're on 7 now. That's loco. So good to have you on, man. Really good to chat. And yeah, if you're not already, Snacks has got some of his Purr derivatives pinned in the spaces. So go hit that, give him a follow. And yeah, obviously, feel free. Your Clubhouse. You have Clubhouse privileges. Drop links for some stuff in there. Like, that's the vibe that we're trying to get in there. I had someone asking me like, "Oh, can I like drop some info about a project I'm really into in the Clubhouse?" I'm like, "Yeah, like that's what it's there for. You've all bought into our club. Talk about whatever you want, as long as you're not violating our terms of service. Let's go." So yeah, like feel free to do that. Me and Carlini will be back next week with hopefully another guest.
Who have you lined up?
We'll just line up guests. I need to nail it down. I forwarded you an email actually. So yeah, I need to kind of nail that down. But we should have another guest in the third chair. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please give us a subscribe and hit a like and comment something that will make me laugh. If you're re-listening to this on Twitter, like this, retweet it, comment something down below that will make me laugh. If you try out Snacks' sandwich, which we're going to call the snack sandwich, which is peanut butter, honey, banana, sriracha, with Dave's Killer Bread if you can get it. I think mine's going to be like Hovis Best of Both or something. Send me a picture of that. I think that's everything.
You're reading out a seed phrase then.
Peanut butter, honey, banana, lemon tree.
It's like
sriracha. Homecoming.
It's a themed wallet.
You get in there. It's just NFTs of fruit and vegetables. This was really fun. Carlini, thanks for coming on as always and dropping some knowledge. And we will see you all next week.
See ya.